everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lemise if you're new here, and I am a senior at the University of Pennsylvania, and I thought that it was a really fitting time to talk about advice I would give as a senior to my freshman self. So now I just finished my third week of my senior year, and I know I haven't been, uploading a lot of videos, but it has been a little busy, and now I feel like I'm finally in the flow of things, so I think I'll be able to upload more, but we'll see. No guarantees. I am trying to upload once a week, but I was sick last week, and so I couldn't film then, so I'll do the best that I can. But anyways, I made a list of advice that I would give to my freshman self. Now, obviously, not everyone would agree with everything that I'm going to say, and it differs like what your major is and where you go to school, but as an engineer at Penn, this is advice that I will give to myself, and I think it can apply to many different schools, but obviously people have different perspectives and opinions. But let's get right on into the video. This is in no particular order, and one of the first things that I would tell my freshman self is to work out more. And I think if you asked me 4 years ago, I'd been like, you're crazy, like, I walk so much all over campus, what's the need to work out? I'm pretty active. But like this year, and this is the longest I've kept it up. Last year I tried, I think actually my sophomore year, I tried to work out like every day, and it only lasted a week. And so far I've been like working out like at least 4 times a week for the past 3 weeks. And if you guys follow my vlogs, you'll know that I did try to start working out more in the summer, and I've tried to keep it up. But it really does, like, I like to work out in the morning, and because my classes start a little bit later, I can do that. And I swear it like changes the tone of your day. It just makes you feel good, like you accomplished something so early on in the morning, and definitely it puts me in a better mood. It's like a time to just be by myself, and sometimes like I'll watch shows or YouTube while I'm working out, and it just makes it a really enjoyable experience, and I know that I'm doing something good for my health in the process. So I absolutely love it, and I would definitely tell myself I should have started getting on this a lot earlier. The next thing, and this might be people might not agree with this, but I think grades aren't everything. Obviously, like, you're going to college to study and you want to do well in your classes, but college is also an experience across your 4 years, and you shouldn't always be working. And I think that sometimes that can be difficult for people to grasp, and other people are always having fun. I don't think that's the way you should go, but I definitely think that this kind of goes into my next idea. But I definitely think that sometimes people can stress too much about their grades, and it can consume their lives. And I think that that is something that I did a little bit in my freshman year. My next point is to maintain balance. And that was something that I had started to instill in myself in high school, and I knew about it going into my freshman year, but I still don't think I applied it as much as I should have. And there is this concept of like, okay, you're working, but then also you have to give yourself a breather. And I remember I did a pre-orientation program the week before I started my new student orientation. And one of the things that they told us was, if you're getting a 4.0, and this is obviously for engineers, it might be easier for other majors to get a 4.0, but they were like, if you're getting a 4.0, you're doing something wrong. And I definitely agree with that. A lot of people won't, but I think that I noticed my freshman year, I thought like I had to study all the time, and that would be the only way to get good grades. But honestly, like, studying all the time doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do the best that you can. It's about quality rather than quantity, and I feel like it's about being strategic in the way that you study, and then also giving yourself time to breathe. And I think you'll notice that as a common theme with my advice is being able to enjoy yourself throughout your college years, because it's only 4 years, and if the only thing you look back at and remember is studying, then that's not really, like, you didn't gain the most out of your college experience, in my opinion. Obviously, if you do well and then you get a job, great, but like, when I look back at my last 3 years and now my 4th year, I don't remember that time I was stuck in the library. I remember like who I was with, or this place I went to, and this restaurant I went to during restaurant week. Things like that are the things that you actually remember, not the studying. Next advice I would give to myself as a freshman, and something that was told to me but I don't think really sunk in, and I wish it like kind of, I did embrace it more, was you were accepted here for a reason. and your admissions doesn't make a mistake. And this doesn't matter what school you go to. And a lot of times people will have something called imposter syndrome, where you don't think that you fit into where you're at, and you think everyone else is smarter around you. But I mean, obviously it's very difficult to be the smartest person, and I embraced that pretty early on. But you are here for a reason, and you're here to get a good education, and you should never put yourself down and think that you can't do well. And just understanding that you have a place in this institution and just maintaining that throughout your college career. I, obviously knew that, like, I was told, yes, admission doesn't make a mistake, but I think that it took me a while for it to kick in, because people come from different backgrounds. When they come to college, people had like maybe better educations in high school than others, and so sometimes you feel that you're not as good as the rest, and maybe you shouldn't be here and this isn't the right place for you. But I think over time I realized like that's not true, and if I learned it earlier on, I think it would have helped me stop comparing myself to others. But yeah, definitely know that you are here for a reason. Another thing seems simple, but I wish I would have told myself, or someone would have told me, like, and I'm sure people did, but sometimes you don't take it in, as I said, like, you're doing a great job. Because I'll tell you from experience, freshman year was really tough for me. I mean, there's a lot of transition. You're going from high school to college. The academics are more rigorous. You're not at home anymore. I got sick a lot, and it was like not the best time. Like, obviously people say college is the best time of your life, but it's also one of the hardest times of your life, because it's a huge adjustment. And so sometimes I feel like you can be really hard on yourself. So just knowing that like you're doing the best that you can, and just to like don't put too much pressure on yourself, which I definitely think I did. It was just like, I feel like a time where I doubted myself, and I wish like I knew that. And I think it's more, people can tell you this, but if you don't internalize it, it means nothing. So if I just embrace the fact that I'm doing okay, and then I'm gonna make it out great, maybe freshman year would have been better mentally. I definitely think I had a good freshman experience, but I feel like and a lot of people will tell you this, freshman year is an adjustment. So it's just a matter of being able to embrace the change and being able to accept yourself through the change. And then the next thing is, it's okay that your freshman year is hard. I don't necessarily know if all of my classes in high school prepared me for college. So a lot of my classes were harder for me than they were for others. And that's okay. I mean, I think that there were certain classes that I was great at, and there were others that I really struggled with. And it's just a matter of knowing that you can't be great at everything. And some people might have an easier time than you, but that's just the way that things are. And it's okay if you're having trouble, and it's okay to seek help. I think I may have sought help out a little bit later than I would have liked, but other than that, I just wish I knew that it's okay that freshman year is hard. And I talk now in retrospect with a lot of my friends, and we all say like, yeah, freshman year was the greatest adjustment. Some people say like, oh yeah, I got my lowest GPA in freshman year, which is like totally normal. So I think that you just need to embrace the fact that like you have to be forgiving to yourself. The next one is making sure you have fun. And this is something that I don't think I embraced enough my freshman year. And my sophomore year, I think it was my sophomore year, maybe it was my junior year, I forget. All the years are a blur now. But I kind of instilled this thing where Friday nights I have to take off. Doesn't matter if I have an exam on Monday, I have a lot of work to do, doesn't matter where I am in any time in the semester, I have to take Fridays off. And this was the best decision I ever made. One of the best decisions I ever made at Penn, and throughout my 4 years, is just being able to take a break. Because if you have nothing to look forward to at the end of the week, you'll get burnt out, which I think is what happened to me earlier on in my college years. And I think that once I started implementing that, I started enjoying the fact that, okay, I can take a break now. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to be constantly working, and it's something that has really helped my mental health, I feel, and made me feel better. And it's okay to take a break. And I think some people think that you can't. And I have so much work to do, like it won't get done if I don't like constantly work, but like that's just not how I function. And I felt that taking that weekly break, and I think some of my friends have started to implement it with me, but it's been like a great thing to implement in my life, and something that has just made me enjoy the end of the week. especially because there are so many assignments due a lot of times near the end of the week, and at that point you're just done. And I'm like, I can't be working Friday night too. And then because my schedule is maybe a little bit more lax, so this semester I'll take a little bit more time off on the weekends as well, just to kind of give myself rejuvenation for the week that's coming, because I do work all week long, and so if I take a few hours of the weekend off, I think that's okay. Know your limits would be my next piece of advice. I think in high school you're so used to being involved with so many activities, and you want to, you know, just be the president of everything or the leader for everything, and just being involved and trying to make your application good for college. But once you get to college, it's a little different. You can't be that involved. If you do, like, I feel like you won't have time for anything. And I know my sophomore year I had to let go of some organizations because I was just too overwhelmed with my academics. And so I think it's a matter of knowing your limits. And if I told myself this freshman year, and if I was aware of it, I think I would have maybe like been involved with less things and not overwhelm myself as much, because sometimes I felt like I had to do something, and in reality you don't. You have to do what's best for you, and knowing what your limitations are is really important to have good mental health and just be able to conduct yourself well throughout your years. This goes as well with my Friday nights off. I just think that knowing your limits is so important, and sometimes you don't want to reach that breaking point where you have a mental breakdown, and the only way for you to do that is to know when you need to take a break, and not to take something on. A really important thing is, I would say, don't compare yourself to others in every aspect. So academics, it's so easy to kind of, people give off this persona like they're doing really well and everything's great, and it only took them 2 hours to complete this problem set, or they barely studied for this exam and got an A. Like, I'm sure that's not true, and if you take those what people say and then put that on you, you'll just be hard on yourself. You really have to be able to not compare yourself to others and just be yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to function properly in life, I feel. I mean, I think obviously it's hard not to compare yourself. That's just like the nature of being human. But I think being able to kind of just say like, okay, this is my situation. This is what I'm capable of. Okay, this person might be better at this than me. I might have to put in more effort, but that's okay. So this comparison game can be really tricky to maneuver, but I think over the years I've kind of been like surrounding myself with people who only make me feel better about myself. It's a matter of not surrounding yourself, and even like not doing work with people who will put you down. And that's something I've learned throughout the years, and it's definitely helped me do better and not put myself down. The people who you surround yourself with is so important. And if people are constantly putting you down, then that's not the people to be around. And you don't want to compare yourself to how much they're doing or how little sleep they got. Like, that's not something to brag about. Your mental health is really important. Sleep is really important. I'll tell you, the theme of this whole thing is just being able to take care of yourself, know your limits, and just, know that you are you and you are not someone else, and you can only do so much, and you're only capable of so much. And once you know that, I feel like you'll be successful. The last thing I would say is do self-care. So that means, doing a face mask, making yourself feel better, watching Netflix, hanging out with your friends, just going out randomly and walking, or, going to the gym. Self-care is so important. And that also means what you ingest, so the food. A lot of times you'll have so much junk around you, but try to eat that salad, try to eat your greens. That has taken me a very long time to reach. I would never eat salad as a meal, and now I do. I think it's just maturity. But I think maybe as a freshman, I did not take care of myself enough. And it really shows up in your face and in your skin. And I think that, eating healthy, taking care of yourself, knowing that, like, school isn't everything. You need to be able to functioning human being, and how you portray yourself and how you dress and how you take care of your skin and your body is really important to just be a full functioning person and make it out alive after your 4 years. So I hope that was beneficial. These are some things that I would have told my freshman self. Leave a comment below if you have different ideas or have something else that you would like to add. Obviously, this is my experience as an engineer at Penn, but a lot of people might have different experiences at their school as different majors or in different schools. But this is something that I would feel that, like, if I embraced all of these, not just knew them, but embraced all of them as a freshman, maybe I would have had a better freshman year. But obviously, I don't regret anything, and you learn as you go on. But this is advice that I would like to impart on anyone else who is going through college, entering, or maybe a freshman, junior, sophomore, even a senior. But I'll catch you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!